I have the pleasure of reading with our next reader, Oriana Small. If you can call getting your ass handed to you at a literary deathmatch a pleasure. But Oriana Small is a writer and artist from Southern California. As Ashley Blue, she performed in over 300 adult movies and won several adult industry awards, including AVN Performer of the Year. Her book, which she's going to read from tonight, Girlvert, a Porno Memoir, is a best-selling cult classic. She currently writes for Hustler magazine. Please welcome Oriana Small.
It's an experience unlike any other to go out with Max Hardcore. First of all, Max Hardcore doesn't break character when he's not in his movies, like the rest of us porn stars do. Though it's not his real name, he lives his life as Max. He wears a big yellow cowboy hat at all times. His jacket is a big denim and leather bomber that says Team Max on the back in huge letters. Tyler and I accompanied him to the Universal City Walk, Sky Bar, and Hollywood Hustler store. Max brought a few skanky whores with him at all times. They were called his Max girls. He toted them around in public, and they were also in character. They were skeleton skinny and wore tiny schoolgirl outfits, ankle socks with ruffles, and platform hooker heels. It was a spectacle each time we went out with him. Men scrambled to get Max's autograph and to worship him. Little children would just stare at the whores and wonder who Max was. He looked like a superhero. Tyler, of course, loved it, and sorry, I'm really confused. Okay. Tyler, of course, loved it and wanted me to dress like a schoolgirl prostitute when we went out. It didn't look as charming on me as the Max girls, as it did on the Max girls. Max girls were all size 00. I couldn't get down below a 3, even on the heaviest amounts of cocaine and bulimia. Max girls smoked crystal meth and threw up their food all the time. When it comes to binging and purging, I'm only a part-timer. I could never be as skinny as the Max girls. It would kill me. Max invited us to spend the night at his love shack. We were all going to continue partying after leaving the Sky Bar one night. I just wanted to go home. Tyler wanted to go back to Max's place so we could have a threesome with him. It was a dream of Tyler's to fuck me with Max Hardcore. He couldn't believe I was being so selfish by refusing. I got my way despite Tyler's pouting. I was sick of being so porno and hanging out with Max's whores. It can be a tiresome act. I don't like to be in character, so to speak, 24 hours a day. I didn't want my entire social life to revolve around sex. Tyler thought differently. Thinking we were going to settle in for the night, I turned our little CD player on at a low volume. I put on Radiohead's The Bends, and I tended to a huge mess of clothes on the floor. Tyler went to the computer in the kitchen and shut the door. I thought maybe he was going to do his dick exercises. He had joined one of those websites for penis enlargement and would shut himself in the kitchen from time to time. He forbade me to watch. The exercises involved many humiliating movements, pelvic thrusting and fondling mostly. I had no idea that Tyler had gone off to the kitchen because he was still mad at me for not wanting to go to Max's. When he opened the door again, I could see that he was pissed. Why can't we just go over to Max's? I just want to party with him and get a little crazy. Why don't you want to? Do you only like to do it for the money now? That old line. The color of his eyes had darkened, and I prepared myself for the more mean things to come. We had an entire 8-ball of Coke, and half of it was dumped out on a dinner plate. This was how This is how we always did Coke at home. We never ate on our dinner plates. Dinner in our home was typically served in white powder form. Using a credit card, Tyler cut out small, thin lines and sniffed them up with a cut-up drinking straw from Jack in the Box. You could always tell whose lines they were by the size. Mine were always thick and long. Tyler knew he could get to me. He knew I was confused about what I was doing with my body. I was at odds with myself over the sex for money. Was it wrong? Was it more wrong than other things we did for money? Was I a whore? Was I no good? I asked him these things daily, and I asked them of myself as well. The answers remained elusive. I wanted to be a good person inside. I wasn't sure if I could be a good person anymore because of the porn and drugs that had consumed my life, even though I enjoyed them. You never want to do anything crazy anymore with anyone else, Ori. The only time you like it is when you're getting paid. Admit it. You've got the whole hooker mentality, don't you? No, I don't. I do get crazy. I do like sex, and not just when someone's paying me. We were going into another full-fledged argument about whether or not I still liked off-camera sex with other people, and I wanted to outsmart Tyler. If I lost the argument, I would have to give in to what he wanted. I would have to have sex with whomever Tyler wanted me to. It was all a game. This is the reality of my relationship, and Tyler always won. Well, then how come you never then how come you never want to do anything anymore? We hardly ever go over to Colby's house and have fun. Now that we're in porn, all you do is scenes. You don't have as much anal at home. You just do it when you're getting paid. Porn is changing you, Ori. You're not the same person as when we started. He shook his head at me, like it was hard to look at who I'd become. We do still party. I thought you wanted me to make the money for us, right? Don't call me a hooker, I'm not. I still want to do crazy things, and I want to do anal at home. I just get worn out, and I'm tired after the scenes. What am I supposed to do? Just want to fuck all the time? It was all so frustrating because the only explanation I had for why we didn't fuck our friends as much had to do with the fact that porn was hard work. Tyler used my excuse to call me a hooker. Only hookers thought of sex as work. I must be one. See, you just think of sex as a job now. You should still want to come home and fuck after work. It shouldn't matter. Now I know you're only doing this for the money. You're not really into sex, are you? I can't believe you're so fake, Ori. We shouldn't be in this business if you're in it for all the wrong reasons. Tyler cut out a few more lines, threatening to quit porn because I was turning into a prostitute. I was too cooked out and confused to argue anymore. I couldn't figure out my feelings, and the drugs made me unable to articulate what I wanted to say. Okay, Ori, if you're not a hooker and you still like fucking for fun, then prove it to me. Let's go to Max's tonight. I'll call him right now and we'll drive over and party with him. We forgot all about the risk of getting DUIs and headed to Altadena.